All right. You all are welcome to day two of this workshop. Yeah, and you know, I'm really glad, to even be privileged, by privilege, organizing this thing. So, and I trust God to help us, to understand everything that will be taught here, and don't find this class boring. Yeah, just get what you need to know, and I pray it will be insightful for you. All right, so I was talking about how to create a new folder before we had the lights turned off yesterday. This is Nigeria, so anything can happen. All right. Um, so I was trying to explain to us different different workspace or different canvas size where you can work on, how to set your presets and your workspace presets and the other thing. So that is what I'm trying to explain yesterday. So now we can see here that we have different things depending on what you want to work on. If you want to work as a photographer, probably you want to edit or set some sizes of work to be done. So here is where you come to photo, you set what you need to set. If you're working as a print designer or maybe any designer or maybe a social media designer, you can just come to this page and you know pick what you want to work on. And same as each and everything that this software does. So you can make anything, you can set up anything you want. So that is it. Also, so now we want to start working. So we select our presets, like our work presets. We're going to put input a name. Let me just use workshop. Okay, my H is not working currently. So workshop. Let's use it as that. Day two. So this is workshop day two. And now I want to set my size, the size where I want to work on. So we have different sizes where you can work on, that you can lay and work on. So it is depending on your output on or how you want things to be. We have, when it comes to paper, we have A4 paper, we have A5, we have letter, we have ledger, and we have papers and so on and so forth. So, and this is more like you're having a paper, like what you want to work on. So that is the size I'm about to set now. So I'm trying to set a custom size, for maybe for a social media design. Yeah, I can use this size I'm about to create for a social media design. So this is a custom size. So I'm having 9.5 by 10 inches. So these are the sizes I can work on, but I use inches mostly on my own side. So I'm using 9.5. So, and this is okay, the orientation, if you want to use it on landscape or maybe a portrait, so it is depending on how you want it. And this is artboard. If you want to make designs, and you have several designs you want to make without opening new layer or new canvas space or new workspace, without opening new workspace, you can exactly tick artboard. Once you tick it, it is going to open a workspace in the name of artboard. Then you'll be able to duplicate that workspace and you continue your work straight on it, instead of pressing Ctrl N or going to your file and pick new document. So you don't have to do that anymore. So that is the work of artboard. But here we are not using artboard because I'm still trying to explain some things to us. So this is the resolution. So resolution is also depending on how quality you want your work to be. For instance, you would not want to use a lower resolution for your work not to be pixelated. I believe that images are made in square sizes. So if you want if you want a good quality, you need to have a high resolution of job done or job set. So for instance, my own side, if I'll be designing most of my social media designs or most of my designs I make, I increase my resolution a lot um to a high resolution. For instance, I use 600 dpi as my resolution, and that is what I work with, and that is why you can see most of my design very sharp and very clean. So, and that is, I will advise that you can also use 300, and you can come out with a nice clean design. Yeah, I do that sometimes, especially when my PC is loaded. Maybe I have several works I'm doing on it, or maybe I don't have much space, or my PC is not capable at that moment. So I can reduce um the resolution. And also, if I want to print too, for instance, I sometimes ago, okay, I think this particular design, if you can see it, so these are some of my work. So I made this design. Sorry. So I made this design few weeks ago, and I printed a banner. So while designing this banner, so I had to reduce the resolution, because I'm printing a large banner. It's a big banner. It's for a crusade in Lagos, Ikeja crusade, I think, open air crusade. So I had to reduce the resolution, so I increased the size since it is a large format work, and um, the printer is going to recognize, and I'm working with quality, so it is going to come out nicely too. So I had to reduce the resolution and increased the size, the weight and the height, just because of the kind of PC I'm using. My specification is all up to the kind of the large format the large format design I'm trying to make. So that is why I reduced the resolution. But for instance, I'm trying to make a social media design. I can increase the resolution, since it is a social media design and it is not a big what's it called, it is not a big job to be done. I'm still working with inches when it comes to social media design. But if I'm working with maybe printing banners or doing some large format design, I need to work with feet. I'm working with feet, and if feet is much more larger than inches. It is, if you want to calculate a feet, you are calculating 12 inches in a feet. So that is that about resolution. So it depends on how you want your work to be quality, how quality you want your work to be. So that is it. And also, we have our color mode. In the class today, I was talking about colors theory. That's our primary color, our secondary color, and tertiary color. This is the example of everything I talked about. So now we have our RGB, we have our CMYK, depending on which one you want to use, depending on which one you want to use. So, but for this kind of practice we are doing, we are going to use RGB for now. I'm going to explain CMYK to us. CMYK is used in designing, it is used in photography too. Sorry, it is used in designing and printing, like I mean print designing. So if you are making publications, so you use CMYK for your job. Don't use RGB, because mostly it will be rejected, except you have a professional handling your printer. So that is when you're going to use RGB, and they will be able to color correct or color treat your colors. Yeah, because they have to treat your colors before you can be able to print. So that is that about CMYK. So, but we are using RGB. RGB is color you see everywhere, maybe on social media, on digital devices. So that is where you see RGB. So it can be used on this part. So this is RGB, and also you can increase the bit rate how you want. It is also a means of increasing your quality. So if I want to work on my own part, I increase my resolution a lot, and I work patiently with what I'm doing. So, and that is what I'm telling you here too. But currently with this practice we are trying to do, I am going to use the resolution of 300. So I'm using 300 dpi. So I'm using 300 dpi for the resolution. I'm using let's okay, let me put it on 8 bits. My quality will still be good. I can still manage around, and my quality will come out nicely too. So I just, just in case of my production for my clients, and that is why I increase my resolution high. All right. So after this part, the next is for us to what? The next is for us to create. Then tada, we have our work on the screen, our Canva, our workspace on the screen. So um that is about how to open a new file or a new document in Photoshop. So I welcome us all into Photoshop itself. This is where every design, where every work is going to be done. This is where you start making use of your design principle, of your color theory, of everything you know about design. This is where you make use of it. These are where you make use of your shapes, of your icons, of your design elements, of your assets, of your resources, everything you are joining together, to form a particular design. So this is it. So I'm going to be introducing us to our work, our tools, every tools we are going to be needing as a designer. So I'll be introducing us to that. So I'll be coming from here. This is where I came. If you can see my screen, my cursor. So this is where I came on the screen. So to select I want my workspace to be. If you're a photographer, you want to photo editor, sorry, and you want to edit your image, you can select this space. So and it will change the entire thing for you. But as a designer, so we are working with graphic and web. So that is that about that. So it has set it to, you know how a designer room can be. So this is the interface for you. And also we have here our toolbar. This is every tool, where every tool you're going to be using, this is where it lies. So this is your move tool. We don't have anything yet on it, so that is why it is bringing out this prompt. So you have your artboard tool. So artboard tool, what I told you the other time, I was trying to say, if you want to have, maybe you have so many designs you are trying to make. So here to you, if you're unable to click it from there and you realize that there is more, or probably you want to make another template of design, so it is just for you to, come here and just rule on it to create the exact size. Or maybe if you have um a size that you're looking at, you can just create it here and just do your own workflow. Just do your own workflow. So, and that is artboard on that side. So um we have sorry, let me try to reset this too. So I'm using Control K currently. I used Control K to, to bring out the preference. Two, where's my tool? Set or Alright, just let's continue. I don't know what is wrong. Change it. Set. Try and bring it back. if probably you lost it, you can come to your Windows on Photoshop, then you see two, you pick it out. So it is still not reset. It has not reset yet. Okay, so let's edit it. So restore to default. So it will set it back. All right, so I was explaining. So this is where you, if your toolbar is like this is where you find your artboard and your move tool. So this is your elliptical tool. Your if you want to select um in circles, you want to cut out in circles. So you can do this by pressing Ctrl J. You have duplicated it. Or if you want to cut out this particular place, press Ctrl X. You've cut it out. So that is the work, and I can make use of the other ones too. I have the rectangular marquee tool, so you can draw in rectangle or you can draw in square. If you want to duplicate, you duplicate on it, and if you want to cut, you can cut it. So that is the work of these two, of these you know this selection tool. And also this, if you want to select in rows, if you want to select in columns too. So depending on what you want to use it for. So that is that. And also we have some other selection too. If you have a particular image that you want to select, you can make use of this tool. So we have the lasso tool. You can select with it. We have the lasso polygon and lasso tool. So you can also select with it too. So, and perform anything you want to perform with it. So, and so on like that. We have this first 3 sets that we have here from here to here. They are all selection too. So if you want to select, maybe you have a particular image you want to cut out, you can make use of any of these two. You can use this one to trace that particular image or that particular object or subject you want to make or you want to cut out. So you can trace that particular thing. So as you can see, I already cut it out. So that is how it is done. So these are selection tool. This is your crop tool. So if you want to crop, you can crop here. So that is the work of that. This is your crop tool, your perspective tool. Maybe you want to split this into, okay, you want to lay this where, for instance, let's say you want to make this design in some kind of, you want to lay the perspective. So you can just make use of this, and it is well set up. So if you want your workspace to be in a particular shape or a particular style, so you can use that to crop it out. So that is it. And we also have slides too. For instance, on this work page now, there is this carousel style that people do now. Yeah, especially churches, this carousel style. So once they are done with the design, they want to cut it out just for maybe Instagram posts. So this is the tool they use. So it is just for you to just select that particular size you want, and here is it. We have it already. So if you want to export it, it is going to split it on export. So we have it that way. So I believe you get what I'm saying. So that is that about the slice tool too. So, and if you want to work most time, once you select the tool, once you are done with the tool, you come back to this tool. This is your move tool. So you'll be able to make use of the tool. You can move around. If you want to select any object, for instance, maybe these ones are on now, are turned on now. So this is where you select, you'll be able to select the objects. So that is the work of the move tool. And these are the selection tool. This is the crop tool, the crop tools that we have here. So and this, we have this is also more like a slice, but mostly I'm not sure we do use this, but it is useful, it has its own use. So we have the drop eye drop tool, sorry, eye dropper. So maybe you have a particular color you want to select, you select. As you can see, once I immediately I pressed that this space, or wherever space I have clicked on, you see that the colors are changing. You see that the colors are changing. So I can pick any color on anything with this tool. So and we have other tools there too. So if you want to color sample, if you want a ruler, and if you want a note too, anyhow you want it, so it is there. It is there. So this is your brush tool. If you want to paint, so let me select the color. So if you want to paint, you can paint with this. You can paint, you can paint, you can do whatever you like with the brush tool. So that is the brush tool. This is a selection tool. If you want a hair, like for instance, you want to edit an image and you probably you cite a spot there. Okay, let's make use of it. So I want to remove this black spot on this particular thing. Now see what magic this thing will perform. Let's just wait. It is going to perform the magic here. So can we see it? It's did the content aware. So it's cleared that particular spot that we have here. Assuming I used it well, and due to there is no other functions here, other space here. You know, this place is blank. If you are seeing these pixels here, that means that they are blank. This side of work is blank, as you can see. For instance, let me just get a background for this. So let me just bring this to the back. So as you can see that place is blank. So that is what that place, since that place is blank, so that is why it was able to, to cover up this space. Assuming I made this very big, it is going to cover the whole thing, and it is going to correct um every spot that is there. Do you get? So you pick it, you use it in the size of the spot, a particular spot you are trying to remove. So if you make it too big, it is going to make it bad for you. But if you put it in the same size, or you try and make it little by little, it will cover each spot for you. And so that is how it is done. How this content aware tool is used. And you have the remove tool. You can use it to remove spots too. There are spots too. So it will remove it. This one is working with AI. So so we have there too alien brush. You can also use alien brush. You have to sample before you can use it. So you have to sample with alternate. So and you can clear everything. So you see that that place has been covered since we use the tool. So and we have another tool, that is we have the patch tool. We have the patch tool here. So for instance, let me try and remove this. There are also spot healing tools. So you see that it is trying to patch everything. So if I'm not using the patch too well, it is not going to remove the patch very well. So I want you to get that. So you see that it has covered um the spot, so that is how the tool is being used. That is how the tool is being used. So we have the content aware tool. So if you have maybe anything you want to remove, it is going to, if you want to use a generative field, this is AI features. If you want to remove it too, so everything like this, they are AI features. So let's just, okay, you want to replace this, so you are going to put a content aware, like everything that is here, you're going to replace it with another thing. So let's see what it will do here now. What is here is going to reflect on this side. So let's watch and see. Still loading. This side is loading. So but we don't have all day. Okay, I think it's done. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, let me just cancel it. It is not. So assuming we waited, we're going to see the work that it did there. So that is how this all these tools, they are spot healing tools. You can use it to remove any spot. You can use it to patch anything. Maybe you have any error on a particular image you want to use, or a particular object you want to use, and you don't want unwanted parts. You can just come to this space and pick any tool that works for you there. Maybe the sports, or any tool that works for you there, just pick it and use it. So, and also you can watch more tutorials on how to use every tool. So there is a very long way when it comes to making use of Photoshop. Someone can do something differently with this tool, and another person can do another thing differently with this tool. So that is why you must be updated each time. So there are different ways, approaching to I approach or using tools. Yeah, let me just use that word, using tools. There are different ways of using tools. So I can use a brush to to paint a picture now, to retouch a picture. And you can see someone else using a patch to sorry, a selective tool, selection tools, to patch a picture or to retouch a picture. So I've seen it. I can do it also. I can use a selection tool to retouch a picture, and at the same time I can use a brush too. I have a mixer brush too here, so I can use it to paint. So depending on how you want, how how you want to make use of your tool, you can use your tool in different ways to achieve something particular, probably something the same as someone else. You can do see there is it's this software is an advanced software that you can use to get anything. So there is so many space here. You can be doing something sometimes and someone will be like, mi ò mọ̀ pé kíní I don't know that this thing can work like this. So it is just because that is how you know how to do your own thing. And that person that is surprised that I don't know that this thing can work like this, can also know another method to approaching that same thing. So that is why I said this is an advanced setup. This is an advanced tool. So you can do anything with it. So just make your own thing. So for instance, gradient now, I can also pick gradient somewhere else. So and I can use gradient here. As you can see, can we see that is the work of gradient. You can fill up something with it. For instance, let me just create a 3D shape with this. What's going on? Okay, I have to pick a classic. So let's do it. Let me just set it up. I've scattered everything, so that is why. behaving like that. So I have to pick the transparent one. So is it. So I'm trying to create a 3D shape like a ball. So that is what I'm trying to do here now. So now let me go again. I'm going to put something on this. So as you can see, we see that it's, though it might not look like a perfect 3D shape, but at least it is looking like something. So you can create things inside this software. You can create anything you want inside this software. If you want to create animation, if you want to create shapes, you can just create anything you want in this space. So that is it. So this is, you can see that I used gradients here, so you can use it. And also we have the paint bucket, so you can fill this place with a particular color. You can fill the color, so on how you want it, just flow with everything you have. And this is a clone too. So for instance, I want to patch this place, or I want to fill up this place, or maybe I have a spot too. You can also use in replacing a particular spot, maybe a dirty space. So you can just use it by clicking alternate and okay. So just, sorry, I'm using, okay. So this is where I sampled. I have to work on this. So you can see that I filled it up with this. So that is the work of clone stamp tool. It is a clone tool. So, and if you want to work with patterns too, you want to clone patterns too, so you can use this, this, and this, depending on the pattern you want. If it is water pattern you have, so you can clone it, you can clone it, and just create that particular thing you want to achieve. So that is that thing. So I'm just doing all these things as a rough sketch and for us to understand. So that is it. So what I'm still treating now is the basic tool that we have in Photoshop. I might not be able to touch the whole tool, but you can explore. So let me just pick out the particular ones we'll be using. So I have the shape tool. So you can create your shapes. This is rectangular tool. If you want ellipse tool, just click on it and you click your ellipse. So you create your circle shape. If you want to create your triangle, polygon, and so on and so forth, just you pick up your shapes here. So you can create any shape within this place. And if you want to have a custom shape, so maybe okay, this is a lion, or is it tiger? So you can create it and fill it up, create everything. So that is that about that. And we have our pen tool. So pen tool, you can also use it as a selection tool. You can use your pen tool as a selection tool, and also you can use it as a shape tool. It's because I'm on this layer. That is why it's behaving like that. So let me just let me find a safe space. Okay, so I can use it as a selection tool. So if I want to select maybe this circle now, All right. So if I want to maybe select this thing. All right. So if I want to select this circle, so I can basically, select this point, and I can trace it. I can trace it. I can trace it and select the circle, and I can just create what I want from there. So that is the tool. That is the tool. You can use it to trace, and if you want to use it as a shape, you can just pick it up here. So whatever you draw will be showing up as a shape. So depending on how you want to use it. So as you can see, you see that it is working as a shape. So that is how pen to also work. This is your pick tool. So you want to direct, okay, you want to select something, so you can use it in selection too. So, and this is your hand tool. For instance, you want to move the whole workspace, you can do that. Maybe you have it zoomed, and you want to see a particular side. You want to see a particular side, so you use your hand tool, and this is your zoom tool. You want to zoom. So so as you can see, I'm zooming. I can zoom. So that is the tool. So this is your text tool too. So if you want to type, right? So if you want to type, you can type with this. So that's your text tool. Your text tool. So and so on and so forth. So the basic tool you are going to be using here, especially when it comes to your design, you're going to be using your text tool. You're going to be using your rectangular tool, your ellipse tool, your triangle tool, your polygon tool, star tool, line tool, custom shape tool. So depending on whatever shape you want to achieve, and also you'll be needing a pen tool if you want to be drawing shapes. So and so on like that, and so on and so forth like that. So that is this about the Photoshop tools. This is the tool. And this panel, as you can see, I can select colors. We've been changing colors all this while. This is the panel where I've been changing colors with. So if I want to use I want to select my color palette. For instance, let's say I am picking, okay, let me pick brown as my background color, and foreground color I'm using yellow. So yes, so I can set it down. Then it is just for me to oh, okay, let me set it again. Foreground color yellow, my background color, I said brown, right? Okay, let's use this wine, I think. So you can just set it down, and if you want to change it, you can, depending on the one you want to use in particular. So now I want to start something with design. See, we have so many tools, so some other tools should be here. So assuming I set it like we started, those tools will be splitted and they will be here. Or maybe anytime you find that your tools are missing, just come here. You see that they will be listed. Every tool will be listed there. And if you don't want it like that, you can just come here and select your toolbar, and reset to default. So every two will come back to its place. They will come back to its place. So now this is okay. This is your character where you control everything. Okay, for instance, I want to type, or I typed something. For instance, I typed something. So I have this typed. So see, and I don't like this font. I would like to change my font. Let's use this. You see that I've been able to change my font from here. So this is how this place work, and you can change it from this place too. Still loading. Right. So it's done now. Coming back. All right. So I typed it, and I changed the font. So I can change the font to anything I want here and over here too on the property side. So that is that. So now, okay, we have the paragraph. If we want to align your text, or you want to have a glimpse, your symbol, signs and symbols, so you can have it on this page too. So you can have it there. And this is your layer space. Everything, every work you are performing, every task you are performing, it's all showing up here. You see, if I'm going to off everything, you see that it will be closing like one. It will be showing off, like it will not be displaying. So but if I should tap on the eyes, it will be showing that particular thing I want on it. So this is your layer, where every task you are doing, every design you are making, every shape you selected, or maybe your typography, this is where it will be displaying, as you can see on your screen. So this is where it will be displaying. All right. So um now we want to start something. So I feel like maybe I'm going to cut this video, so we'll continue on the next phase. So please watch this video. If you are confused in any way or the other, let me know, and then I'll be able to guide you through. So see you tomorrow. By the time we meet. So we'll treat the theory, and then um the the practical as well. So I discussed about design principle. We've not been able to make use of this design principle. I'm just showing this to you to complete the work that I was doing yesterday, and due to we were not able to use this setup today, that is why we treated design principle. So tomorrow we're going to be practicing directly, live and direct, everything I've said about you know the emphasis of the design we are making, the proportion, the white space, the um why is this thing skipping my head? Every of the design principle we've mentioned, we're going to make use of everything by God's grace in the next video. Thank you for watching. God bless you.